Hey, we have a really useful tutorial today. I'm going to be taking the Slack developer page. We're going to be using OpenAI and we're going to be using AWS EC2 to create a Slack bot. This is something I've done for my work for various teams, and I've built plenty of custom functions built within a Slack bot hosted on EC2. I'll go ahead and give you a quick demo. So here's one of the Slack bots I've built. Message it, you can be like, hi, what is up? What is your favorite color? And you can have conversations with it, whatnot. So the cool thing about the bot we're building, I mean, there's plenty of tutorials out there on how to build Slack bots already. I'm going to be focusing on that last part, hosting with AWS. And I see a lot of the tutorials, they don't really do that last step of where, okay, great, you've built a Slack bot, but how do you make sure it's always on? And that's what we're going to solve with AWS. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. So make sure you have a Slack account and go ahead and log in the API slack.com, and then you can click create a new app. We're going to select create a new app from scratch. Well, you'll get these two options, and then just give it a name. Uh, we'll just call it Superbot. Call it whatever you want, and select your workspace here. After you select your workspace, just go ahead and click create app. Cool. So a few things we'll need to set up here. Very first thing we'll want to do is go ahead, head over to OAuth and permissions. You want to scroll down until you see this add an OAuth scope and click on that and we'll add a few. First, let's add app mentions read and we'll add chat write so it can send messages as well. Of course, you can add in a lot more scopes. You can add in scopes to send files and a bunch of other really cool things. Built here actually can deal with images as well. Give you a quick demo of that. So you see I asked for a Google Trends chart for Mario, Peach, and Luigi, so three keywords, and it will get this directly from Google and output an image. So, you know, you can definitely do some cool stuff with files, especially Excel files. That's another one that I use a lot. Anyway, go ahead and click on Install to Workspace and make sure to click Allow. All right, now what that did is it's added our bot to the workspace. Now, a few more things we're going to need to do. We're going to need to enable socket mode. So just turn that on. Give it a name. I'll call mine toke. Doesn't really matter. Just click generate. Important part here is you'll get this zap token. You're going to want to go ahead and copy that for later. I'm going to open up VS Code and just paste that as a comment because we're going to need that. All right, so done. All right, so we got socket mode, we got our OAuth permissions. We need one more thing, which is event subscriptions. So we'll want to enable that. And then we'll want this one, subscribe to bot event. So go ahead, open that. And then we'll add a user event, and that's going to be app mention. And go ahead and save change. That should be everything we need for, our Slack bot. Might take a little bit of time to show up as an integration in your Slack, but not to worry, we're going to be working on VS Code for a second. So let's open up VS Code. All right, so we're gonna need these Slack Bolt imports. Slack Bolt's this really useful library that helps you quickly deploy things with this kind of always running script. And then socket mode makes it even easier. That's what we enabled earlier. So we're gonna have like our bot token. We're also have like a socket mode token. All right, so we're gonna need to add our token here. And it's not going to be this zap, this token we got from socket mode. It's gonna be a token that starts with XOXB. So we need to go back into the Slack developer browser. Go to OAuth and permissions. And there you go. You got your bot user token. Go ahead, copy that, and let's go back into VS Code. All right, cool. So we have that. All right, we're gonna add a quick if statement. All right, and here we're gonna have that socket mode API. So we'll just go ahead and paste that in here, and then we'll just do a dot start. All right. If you remember, if I go back into Chrome for a second, if we go back to event subscriptions, remember that we had this event subscription app mention. So we're gonna be listening for this now. So we can do like an app dot event, and then inside here we put that exact text in here, app mention. And now when we hear that event, so we're listening for it, when that event comes, we'll have this function run, this hello command. All right, in the hello command, we're going to use something called say. We'll just have say hello world. See, we have these four parts of the hello command, and we'll use these later, like ack, body, say, client. Bodies to get like the text in Slack, and client. Anyway, don't worry about these. For now, we're just using say, which will output hello world into Slack channel. All right, let's go into Slack, and we're in our chat. We're in a private chat that I made, and we can go to view all members in this chat. And let's go ahead and go to integrations. And under integrations, we're going to click add apps. So we'll go ahead and find Superbot. All right, so you can see I added a Superbot into the chat. For some reason, I had a little bit of trouble finding it on my computer. I did it on my mobile device, so it might take some time to load, or you might need to restart your Slack. Anyway, so we'll open up command prompt, and I saved my script on desktop. So we'll open desktop, and then let's go ahead and run it. Python demobot.py. We'll get this message, Bolt app is running, so that's good. We can go into Slack and just test it. So go ahead and mention your bot name. So @superbot. @superbot, hi. And you can see it replies back with the hello world here. So that's great. It works. Of course, let's try and get it to do a little more than hello world. All right, so in VS Code, I'm going to make this new variable message, and it's kind of a lot. We go through this body, and then inside a body you have messages. You have a bunch of other stuff that could potentially be useful, like the username of who sent it, etc. But if you go through this path of items, you'll eventually get down just to the actual message. So we can go ahead and test that by, instead of saying hello world, let's say our message, and should parrot back to us exactly what we write to the bot when we mention it. So we'll go run this again. Hey, what is up? I am good. And you see that it replies with the same text. So that's good. That's working. So next thing I want to do is, instead of parroting that message, I want to take OpenAI and put that message in as a prompt and then get the reply. All right, so it looks like there might be an update to OpenAI. Let me try and upgrade it. All right, so we'll delete that say, and you can see I am now importing OpenAI. We have a client, OpenAI. We're going to use what's called the completion method. So you can see it right here. We have completion. We're creating a client model GPT 3.5. And you can see I'm using the code right here from OpenAI's own website. So let's just modify this. We have a system message, so that just describes what the bot is. You can give it like a bit of a personality. So you could say like, you are Superbot. You are like the Superman of AI and love to help people. Your favorite color is blue. All right. And then content is where the bot will do something here. So this is where we'd want like our prompt in here. So we can add in message right here. All right, so the next thing we'd want to happen is we'd want to use say. I want to say this part right here, the completion choices 0 dot message. So we'll go ahead and just paste that right there. All right, we're still missing something. We're missing our API key, our OpenAI API key. So let's go find that. All right, we also need our .env. Yeah, so just go to your OpenAI account, click on API keys. All right, I went ahead and created a new key. All right, so if you are on Windows, you can write set like this. If you're on Mac or Linux, you can write export instead of set. And then you put OpenAI API key equals, and then enter in your API key here, press equals. All right, so yeah, I was getting so many errors with my code. I cut all of that out. I think I spent like an hour and I was just editing the wrong file this whole time. So yeah, stupid errors. Um, the bug I was having this whole time was you see how there's client here. We have to use a different name for declaring that client because there's in this hello command, there's a different client, which we're actually not going to be using here, but it can be useful, but they can't be the same name, obviously. So I got that fixed. And then the code OpenAI gives, it's not just message, but you have to also put dot content because message, you get a bunch of other stuff actually. And then it does have to be converted to string just to be sure. So yeah, after doing all that, you see I can just quickly run this to show you guys. We'll go back into Slack. Here, I'll ask you a question. And you can see this is me doing a bunch of like testing and it not working. Here, let's ask it, how are you different from Superman? Who would win in a fight? What do you think you can beat him at? It's an interesting question. I'm curious. So he says, while I can't compete with Superman in terms of strength, I can certainly assist in a wide range of tasks that provide valuable information. Yeah, so it's working. Let's move on to the next part, which is we need to get this hosted into AWS as a EC2 instance and have this always running. Because you see, the problem is the second this gets closed, and I ask, hey, you on? Look, no reply. So we got to get this hosted in EC2. So we'll go to Chrome. All right, so go ahead, go to your AWS account, and we're going to go ahead and open a EC2. So go to your EC2. See, we have some instances running. So we'll go to EC2 instances and then click on Launch Instance. All right, we'll need to give it a name. Let's call it Demo Bot. And we have all of these different instances available. I like just this Amazon Linux 2023 AMI. So I'm going to select that. For tier, T2 micro is perfect. We don't need really a large size. You can create a new uh, key pair, but I'm not really going to use it, but it's good to have, just save somewhere. Um, if you don't know, the key pair is for connecting to your EC2 instance from your terminal or from your local machine, but we can actually do it directly from the AWS console and don't need it for this tutorial. Cool, so that looks all good. So we'll go ahead and just click Launch Instance. So give that about a minute or two. All right, so it gave it about 2 minutes and it's right here, demo bot, and you can go ahead and click on the instance ID, and then you're going to want to go ahead and click on connect. So you can scroll down here and then click connect, and it's going to establish a connection. All right, so we're here inside of our instance. So very first command we want to run is sudo su to get us into that root user. All right, we're going to do a yum update. It's just going to update everything if there's anything that needs to be updated. Then we'll do yum install Python 3. Oops, I don't want that space actually. All right, and click yes. All right, so we yum install um, Python 3 pip, and then what else do we have? Let's see, we have Python 3 pip install. Go ahead and run that. Oh, duh, we have to actually put our requirements here, so of course it's not going to work. So, all right, what do we need to install? This is where we'll put all the packages we need. So we used Slack Bolt, we used OpenAI, and I think that's it. We'll double check later. So let's do OpenAI first. All right, so we installed OpenAI, and then let's also install Slack Bolt. All right, Slack Bolt. I believe it's like this. So pip install Slack Bolt. All right, let's make a folder and we'll call it my bot. All right, and we'll just go into that folder. So cd into that folder. Whoops, again. I do so many typos, by the way, guys. That's like majority of my errors are just me doing typos. All right, so we're now in there. And now we can make we'll make a new Python file called botScript.py. Okay, and inside of here we're just gonna literally go into demo bot code. So we got Slackbot and we got OpenAI. We should have everything here to work, but we'll see, of course. All right, so paste that, and you're gonna want to press Ctrl+S to save and then Ctrl+X to exit. All right, so we got our bot script. Now, we need to add our API key in here. So to do that, export. We're going to do export, and I just copied and pasted our my key. Use your own, obviously. I'm going to revoke these right after. So export OpenAI API key, and then we put it right here. Press enter. So let's try running this and see what happens. Like let's just do that first. So we'll do Python 3 botScript.py and let's see if we get any errors. Okay, that's a really good sign. So Bolt app is running and we'll open up Slack and try and look at that. It actually replied. So now here's a problem I'm going to show you guys. What happens if I close this EC2 instance window? So I closed it and I go back into Slack and I go, hey, what is pi? And we get ghosted. We get no reply here. So how do we fix that? How do we have this always running, whether we're connected or not connected or whatever? So here's how we fix that. You're gonna go right back in here, connect back in. All right, get back in as the root user. Go back into that folder we made. I forgot before I ran that we need to enter in our environment variable as make that permanent. So we'll do this nano bashrc command. All right, and then at the end of the file, let's just paste this in. Make that export lowercase actually. All right, so cool. All right, Ctrl+S, Ctrl+X. We have to try and run this command, source bashrc to refresh it. All right, now I think it will work. Yes, awesome, working. All right, so interrupt that. All right, so now we'll run nohup Python 3 botScript.py. Okay, and we'll go ahead and close this. And let's see, is it working? Yes, it is. That's brilliant. Yeah, so look at that. It's running and we have everything. We have it, the EC2 closed. So this can run as long as that EC2 instance is up, like, you can close it, but as long as you don't like pause or stop your EC2 instance, this will be running 24/7. So yeah, I hope this tutorial was helpful, and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.